Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of those characters where people just forget about how dangerous he actually is because he lives in a world of horses, revolvers, and dusty towns. But if you really look at Arthur, this man is basically a one-man army. He can walk into a camp full of enemies, wipe out half the town, tank gunshots, outdraw professional killers, and somehow still have enough energy left to argue with Dutch about loyalty for some reason. So today I thought it would be fun to take some of the most famous hitmen and assassins in fiction and rank them by their chances of beating Arthur Morgan. And also, shout out to this guy from my Discord for requesting this video topic. Join the Discord, first link in the description, and give me some ideas that you would like to see. But before we begin this video, let me explain the tiers for you. Coming in at the top is They Beat Arthur, which is pretty self-explanatory. Honorable Battle, which means it would be a really hard fight for Arthur, but inevitably he will win. It'll take some time, which means it'll take him some time, but he'll win, and no chance is no chance whatsoever. And coming in first, we have Anton Chigurh, and right off the bat, I really want to put him in It'll Take Some Time. Now, I know some people are definitely going to want him higher because No Country for Old Men is a classic movie, but you know, we can't let our emotions get the best of us. I'd want Anton Chigurh higher as well, but I don't really know. As we all know, Anton feels like death walking around in human skin, but against Arthur Morgan, I think people are confusing aura with actual ability. Now, Anton is very dangerous because he is very patient with how he operates, which is why people call him scary in the first place. He will shoot you, stalk you, break into your house, and flip a coin like your life is just a game to him. But Arthur has dealt with ruthless killers his whole life. But the Van der Linde gang is literally full of unstable criminals, and Arthur has survived bounty hunters, O'Driscolls, rival gangs, and random maniacs in the woods. Anton could absolutely catch Arthur if he gets the jump on him, I will give him that, but in a direct fight, Arthur just has better combat feats, better gunfighting feats, and just way more experience surviving situations he should have died in, and that's why I really can't put him in honorable battle. Next, we have Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad. Mike is one of the most competent hitmen in television. He is smart, careful, and he does not let emotions control him whatsoever. I mean, do you guys remember the sticker scenes in Better Call Saul? Dude, that guy, he has amazing patience. Now, in a modern setting, Mike could absolutely set up Arthur with surveillance, distance, and a clean shot before Arthur even knows he is being watched. But if we are making this a real matchup where Arthur has a chance to respond, he is older, slower, and not really built to survive the kind of wild western shootouts Arthur lives in every day. Mike is great because he avoids messy fights, and Arthur is great because he wins messy fights. And Arthur's adaptability is what gets him out of tough situations all the time, so I can't really just see a world where Mike Ehrmantraut gets Arthur Morgan. So again, I would kind of just have to say It'll Take Some Time, but I would put Mike over Anton. Next, we have Beatrix Kiddo. Now, of course, if this is Arthur with guns and some distance, he has a massive advantage because Beatrix still has to cross that space. You know, her main form of combat is with the sword, but once she gets close, Arthur is in serious trouble. Beatrix is way more skilled with blades and has fought through some of the most insane injuries you can imagine. She was buried alive and still came back. Now, Arthur is tough, but Beatrix is tough in that almost anime revenge movie way where pain does not really stop her whatsoever. Now, the reason, you know, I wouldn't put her in S tier is because Arthur is not dumb enough to let someone with a sword just sprint at him for free. The moment he understands what she is, he is drawing and firing before she gets comfortable. But if she survives that opening and closes the gap, Arthur is probably getting carved up. This is one of those matchups where it depends heavily on starting distance. Now, you guys might look at me a little insane for this, but I honestly would give her honorable battle. Like, I don't know, I feel like her feats in Kill Bill, you know, kind of add up, but maybe I'm tripping, I don't know. Next, we have Agent 47. And honestly, I don't even know how you would even make this fair unless you drop 47 into Valentine with 0 weapons, 0 prep, and then make him fight Arthur in the street with nothing on his person. But even then, I feel like he still might even win, I don't know. Because if Agent 47 gets any kind of information on Arthur, it is probably over before before it even began. This is not just a regular hitman who walks up with a pistol and hopes for the best. 47 is the kind of assassin who studies your entire life, figures out your habits, and then kills you in a way where everyone thinks you died from bad soup. Arthur is insanely dangerous in a straight fight, but that is the exact problem. Agent 47 would not give him a straight fight. He would disguise himself as a worker, sabotage his horse, or wait until Arthur is sick, tired, or completely distracted. He is trying to make sure Arthur never even realizes he is in danger and then attack. Agent 47 is the perfect hitman. Seriously, I don't see a way where Arthur beats him really at all. Next we have Lorne Malvo. Lorne Malvo is the type of guy who would walk into camp, start talking to Micah for 5 minutes, and somehow have the entire gang turning on each other by dinner. That is where he is dangerous. But the problem is, Arthur is not Lester. Arthur is not some weak man Malvo can push around mentally. Arthur has a pretty strong read on bad people, and even when he makes mistakes, he can still smell when someone is wrong. Malvo would definitely create problems for Arthur. I mean, definitely, right? So, I mean, he could manipulate people around him and maybe even get Arthur hunted by the law. But once Arthur realizes Malvo is the snake causing all of it, I think Arthur just tracks him down and ends it just right then and there. Malvo is dangerous, but I don't really think he's built for a prolonged war against somebody like Arthur Morgan. Put him below Anton Chigurh? I don't know, maybe. Next we have Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction. Now Jules, dude, absolutely iconic. He has the presence and can absolutely kill regular people without blinking. But I mean, against Arthur Morgan, I'm sorry, Arthur is not just gonna sit there politely while Jules gives him his Bible monologue. Arthur would listen for about 10 seconds, squint at him, and then the whole room is getting clear. Now Jules is dangerous in a criminal underworld sense, but Arthur is a professional outlaw who has lived through gang wars and shootouts that make Jules's apartment jobs look like errands. But he can also be caught off guard, and Arthur is just way more battle tested than him, and obviously he's way more faster on the draw, so there's no point in ever, putting Jules in that situation, and yeah, I just feel like this would be just no chance for him at all. Next we have Luca Brasi from The Godfather. Luca Brasi is feared for a reason. He is brutal, loyal, and in his own world, people treat him like a monster. Luca is dangerous as an enforcer. He is the guy you send when you want someone scared or dead in a back room. Arthur is faster, more mobile, and just way better with firearms, probably than the entire Corleone family. Literally, like, not even just Luca, the whole entire family. If Luca gets close and manages to grab Arthur, maybe he can make it rough for a second because, he is a pretty big dude, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe he could perhaps suffocate him, who knows. But Arthur has fought massive people before, and he is not helpless in hand-to-hand whatsoever. I mean, Arthur Morgan has went up against a grizzly bear. I mean, like, I think Luca is not really gonna be a threat, even though he is pretty big, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't even think in hand-to-hand Luca's, I mean, sure, just because of sheer size, he will put on somewhat of a fight, but still I have to just put him in no chance whatsoever. Next we have, Jesus Christ, is that Jason Bourne? Bourne is a trained assassin who is built around efficiency. Once Bourne gets close, that is where Arthur is in serious danger. Now Arthur might be more tougher than Jason Bourne is, but Bourne is way more technical and efficient. Arthur fights like an outlaw who learned through survival, while Bourne fights like a weapon who has been trained to end people in seconds. Bourne would not be trying to have some long dramatic fist fight with him. He would be going after the things that make Arthur dangerous: his gun hand, his balance, and his ability to create distance. Arthur could definitely hurt him if he gets the room to breathe, but Bourne would keep the fight tight, ugly, and really constant. That is why Bourne beats him, not because he is the better gunslinger. He beats Arthur by refusing to let him become the gunslinger in the first place. So yes, I put Jason Bourne and they beat Arthur. Next we have Robert McCall. This is the type of fight where I don't think Arthur gets washed, but I also don't think he walks away feeling proud of himself. Robert McCall is basically what happens when you take an older man, give him insane combat experience, and make him fight like every move has already been planned in his head before the fight starts. Robert McCall is deadly because he understands people. He reads the room almost instantly and finds weaknesses and then ends the fights with whatever is available. Now, the reason I don't put him above Arthur is because Arthur is just a different level of raw physicality. McCall could absolutely set him up, and if he gets Arthur in a closed space, he could win. But if Arthur gets a clean draw or turns it into a nasty brawl, McCall is going to realize this cowboy is not some random criminal he could just calmly dismantle in 30 seconds. So Robert McCall, I would put it in honorable battle, and I would put him over Beatrix. And last but not least, we have John Wick. Now, Arthur in this fight is, honestly, in my opinion, he's not getting embarrassed. If this fight turns into a old school standoff, Arthur has a real chance because, Deadeye is basically a superpower. But if we're talking about John Wick in his own element with modern weapons, Arthur is also in serious trouble. John Wick is insanely fast and ridiculously good at fighting through damage. Arthur can take punishment, but John has survived falling off buildings and fighting entire armies of assassins without slowing down like a normal human being. Like, sometimes I really think John Wick is a supernatural assassin. But the biggest problem for Arthur is that Wick can close distance whenever he wants to. We have long distance, close range, hand to hands, or even with pencils. I mean, whatever's in the vicinity, he's gonna kill you with it. I think it is GG. So yes, Johnny Wick does get into They Beat Arthur. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and also join the Discord if you want to talk about some power scaling.